For my practicum experience, I was in the second grade Chinese immersion class, so that meant that there were two groups, a red group and a blue group, each consisting of about 30 kids. So there were 60 kids total, but we would only get each group for half of the day. Overall, I found it fairly easy to find and use technologies that were effective, efficient, and engaging because I had so much practice and exposure to such technologies with this class. Furthermore, my mentor teacher was very helpful in providing feedback for what would and would not work well with the children. Overall, I felt that the use of technologies I chose to incorporate in my lessons were successful. Additionally, I found it easy to use the educational technologies available to me in the classroom because my mentor teacher basically had a projector and a doc cam, and that was it. So it was easy for me to incorporate technology through those means because I was already familiar with them. This first lesson was a math lesson on adding two double-digit numbers. All students were at their seats, so the front board was visible to them. I began the lesson by using an online manipulative of base 10 blocks to reinforce the idea of place value. I had the children give me a two-digit number, and we talked about which number was the tens and which was the ones, and then we built the number with the online manipulative. Then I modeled how to do the activity I had planned for them. I used dominoes to create two-digit numbers and added them together. Then I put up an example for the whole class to try on their whiteboards. When they had finished, I had a couple students come up and use the doc cam to show their work and walk the rest of the class through the steps they had taken. This was done to make sure that they were prepared to do the activity on their own. I felt like it was very beneficial to begin with the manipulatives and model the difference between tens and ones. I also felt that having the students come up and share their solutions helped other students understand how to solve the problems better. However, I should have had better accommodations prepared. There were some students who still struggled with the idea of place value and needed more simplified problems. If I were to do it again, I would provide more explicit instruction to those students and have pre-made worksheets for them instead of having them create numbers using the dominoes because some of those numbers were just too hard for them. In this lesson, I used teacher presentation and student consumption, so I feel this lesson was worth 5 points. This next lesson was a shared writing lesson. I found a great idea on Pinterest to read the true story of the three little pigs to the class and use it as a discussion point for how to make a good persuasive essay by giving your opinion in a more interesting way. I read the book to the students, who were all on the carpet, and at the end revisited some of the wolf's opinions. I read it the way it was written, and then said it again in a more boring way. I had the students vote on which one they thought was better. The whole idea of this lesson was to get the students to revise their opinion statements for their Thanksgiving dinner persuasive essays. Many of them were struggling with coming up with strong opinion statements. After we discussed the wolf's opinions and why they were interesting, I had the students move from the carpet to their desks, and we did a shared writing piece using the document camera. I created a topic for the students to begin. What drink is better than water? And then the students voted on which drink to write about. Then I had several students come up one at a time to write a portion of our persuasive essay. After each student came up, we talked about what they had written and why it was good, and if necessary, how we could improve it. Once we were done with the shared writing, the students took out their rough draft of their turkey essays and were supposed to revise their opinion statement to make it better. I felt that making the connection with the story helped the kids really see why good, strong opinion statements are necessary and powerful. It also helped to do an opinion piece together as a class. However, if I were to do it again, I would have modeled better. Instead of just verbally modeling good and bad examples, I would have written a good and bad example down and talked about why one was bad while the other was way better. I think that that would have helped the students more explicitly make the connection of how to write good opinion essays. In this lesson, I used teacher resource and student creation, so I feel this lesson was worth 4 points. This last lesson was a really fun one to plan and execute. My partner and I had a great anticipatory set for our place value treasure hunt by dressing up as pirates. We had placed three-digit numbers all around the classroom and divided the class into 4 pirate crews to embark on a place value treasure hunt. We used the document camera to give instructions for the treasure hunt. Each group got a packet of clues, and we modeled how to read the clues and what to write in their journals on the dot cam. For our afternoon group, we even pulled a journal from the morning group to model what a good scribe would do and how to record their answers nicely and neatly in their journals. Then we froze a help sheet on the dot cam while all of the pirate crews were doing the treasure hunt as a reminder to them in case anyone forgot what it meant to write in standard form, extended form, written form, how to draw the base 10 blocks, or what greater than and less than statements look like. I felt like it went really well in both classes. We noticed that our modeling dragged on sort of long in the morning class, though, so we revised it for the afternoon class and created the help sheet for them. In the morning class, we had gone through an example for each of those instead of just briefly discussing them as we did with the afternoon class. It went a lot better the second time around. This lesson used teacher presentation and is worth 2 points. Overall, I felt that it was easy to integrate educational technologies with my teaching methods. Using the document camera and the projector to model were fun and natural ways to help the students understand the content better and in some lessons even become engaged with the content. In my practicum experience, I didn't really have much opportunity to learn new technologies. However, I feel confident enough after this IP&T class that I could figure out many technologies on my own if I needed to. I definitely feel more confident and comfortable using technology in the classroom now than I did at the beginning of the semester. After getting practice and experience incorporating technology into my lessons, it feels much more natural.